EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. Well, this defense for the Bengals, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
That one a first down pickup of 8. The Cowboys at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, Elliott. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. They'll roll him out right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
That's multiple times now he's tagged them with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
Running with Elliott. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got the lead guy running it pretty well, too.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 36. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down. Play action now, Prescott. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Garabay's kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's got room. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. They're good at running the screen. Sometimes it's probably taken for granted, though. You need a good deal of deception in there, don't you?
You certainly do. And you know what else you need? The people who aren't involved in the deception to make sure they hold their blocks and someone doesn't flash too quickly in the face of the quarterback.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete to Chase. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive lines, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, Mixon. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
This a 27-yard attempt here.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Coming up on 3 minutes left in the half in a 3-3 ball game. Just a pair of field goals to this point.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 10 yards there and a Bengal first.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
First down. Here's Burrow.
Looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Joe Mixon with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is now 10-3.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And this is incomplete. Well played defensively, nearly had the interception, but it's second down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
A first down carry by Elliott. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On second down at 4, Prescott.
That is caught by Lamb.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 14. From the red zone now, Prescott. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on fourth down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Facing short yardage on third down, but he was able to pick up a very sizable gain.
He certainly was, and I think that maybe they were fooled a little bit because you and I both know this is a passing league, and that's not normally a running down, and they fooled him with it. Safety had to make the play. Otherwise, he's still running, and the next thing, he runs right into the goalpost.
Back to Mixon on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Burrow on play action. Open man is Chase, complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
It's Mixon on the counter. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll give it to Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try to throw now. Prescott steps away. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. That had disaster written all over it. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. They will throw on 1st down with Burrow.
This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
106 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Mixing up the middle, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
3rd and goal, Burrow. That's complete, right around the 8. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Evan McPherson out for the Bengal field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They start on the ground with Elliott.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw is Prescott. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. Prescott to throw it. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Lamb. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. Inside give to Elliott. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Elliott going to get it again on second down.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That second down play nets a -4.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And Prescott, his third interception. Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Once again, they run with Mixon. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the...
There he goes, right side. And he takes it all the way down to the 3.
178 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
So on fourth down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Up the middle. Here's Elliott. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Running with Elliott. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. From the 31, Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown's going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
Prescott to the sideline on 4th down. Jonathan Garibay is out there for the Dallas field goal. Garibay's kick is good, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bengals drive about to get going. CD, this is the ideal situation in the 4th quarter. You come out here late, not much time on the clock with a comfortable lead, and put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this offense, all game long, they've been powerful, they've been dangerous. You're exactly right. They can end this one on their own terms.
After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Cincinnati, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.